Hello guys, welcome to the second episode of the challenge 5k to 100k. On this video I will share with you 5 hands that I had throughout the week, and at the end I will share the results that we have so far. Alright, so the first hand we start with the open on the cutoff from a recreational player. He is the 48-31, he opens 12 and we defend the big blind with 7-6 off. The flop comes King 8-5 rainbow, and I think we have a very good candidate to check raise on the normal scenario, but against this type of player I think check calling is superior because he's going to continue with more things, so I think check calling is the best option. Turn comes an 8, and this is a really interesting card. So I think people normally tend to automatically check, and I think that is a mistake, especially with our hand, for two reasons. The first one is because we have more 8x than him. He can check 8x on the flop. We continue with all the 8x. And second, and most important, is that if we check and he checks back, we're gonna play out of position on the river. If we miss our equity, we're gonna have 7i, and it's gonna be really tough to win the pot. I mean, we can try to bluff, but it's easier for him to bluff catch one street. But when we lead, we force him to fold a lot of ace-eyes, queen-eyes, and I mean, like, it's also 4 different knives on the board, so it's impossible for him to have flush draws to continue. So we can get a lot of folds on leading turn. I know that this is a small spot, but it happens very often, and is really important to capitalize on these small pots. So I decided to go for a lead, and we got a fold. Next hand, we have an open from a regular under the gun, and we 3-bet middle position queens. We got the cold call from a recreational on the big blind, and the initial raiser flats too. The flop comes king queen 3 two-tone, and it was check, and here we have a very clear bet. We went for half pot. I believe that we could go even bigger, but we got a fold from the big blind and a call from the under the gun. The turn comes the 6 of hearts, so completes the flush, and he decides to check, and I think check back is the right approach. He's gonna have more flushes than us. We can control the pot now. The river comes 10, and now he checks. It's an interesting situation, thinking if he can call us with the worst hand. Thinking if he can, maybe we can get calls, maybe king 10 suited. We blocking queen, but we are opening a door for him to exploit us. If it was against a recreational, I would tend to bet more, because I think they will call more often with worse hands still, and they are not as able to transform their hands into a bluff. But against this player, which is a regular, and I'm playing with him quite a while, I think betting would be a mistake against him for 2 reasons. I think he will fold all the hands that we are beating, and I believe that he would also be able to raise and to bluff bluffs that make us fold our hands. So I think our betting has very little merits here against this player. So we decided to check, and this time he had a flush. On these next hands, I will speak a little bit about the concept of attacking capped ranges that is working for me on these stakes. On this specific hand, we got the open from a regular on the button, 12, and we defended the straddle with queen 10 off. And the flop comes 7-3-3 two-tone. We check, and now he checks back. And when he checks back, I assume that he's not going to have the strongest portion of his range, because I believe that the population on these stakes are not balancing their checking range. So on the turn comes Jack of Spades, and based on this information, I believe that it makes sense to start to develop a bluffing line. We start to generate a lot of folds of ace-eyes, king-eyes. So I went for a larger size, and we got called. The river is an offsuit 8, and after he calls on the turn, I believe that his range starts to be a lot of Jack X, and I need to think about the size to make him fold that. And as we are uncapped, we are allowed to go very large here, and we decided to apply the maximum pressure. So we went for a shove of 4x and we got a quick fold. The next hand, everyone folds and we have 8-6 suited on the big blind. We opened for 12. The straddle, which is lose aggressive opponent 3 bets to 36, and we decide to call. The flop comes Jack, Jack, Deuce, two-tone, and we decide to check, and he checks back. The turn comes the 5 and completes the flush draw. Now, after he checks, I believe that again, his range is going to be kept in the sense that he will continue with his Jack X, especially on a flush draw. I believe also with his over pairs and also with his flush draws. So when the 5 of clubs come on the turn, I think it's a very good opportunity for us to start a bluffing line. So we went for a larger size. We went 1679 and he calls. And on the river comes offsuit 3, and I think he still can have a lot of offsuit hands with the club that he decides to call. So we can still apply a lot of pressure here, and I think it makes sense to continue our bluffing line. So we decide to overbet jam 2x spot, and we found a fold. On our last hand, everyone folds in the button, which is a regular opens 12. We have 9-7 suited on the straddle, and we can 3-bet, but this time we decide to call. The flop comes 8-5-3 rainbow, and we check, and he checks back. On this texture, I was already planning to start to attack, but the turn brings an ace, and that is good for his range. So I decide to check, but with some ideas in the future. So on 35, he decides to go for a bet of 27. And I believe that his range is going to be capped to 1 pair. It's going to be the best hand is going to be ace king. So I think as we aren't capped here, we can have all the 2 pairs. We can have 8s, 5s, and 3s. We are in a very good position to start applying pressure on that ace x. So we went for a check raise of 100. He decides to call. And now the river brings a 4. And again, I think we are in a great position to continue our pressure attacking his ace-x hands. It's very hard for him to continue if we barrel river. So we decide to overbet jam 1.5x spot, and we found a fold. Now the results for the second week of the challenge. This week we played a little bit less compared to the one before. We came to Vegas to play the WPT Festival, and but still we played 3 sessions and we managed to get 3 wins for a total of $2,687, and we played 5,083 hands. The total of the challenge at the moment it's $10,093 of profit, and we played 14,870 hands. Our total bankroll at the moment is $15,093. The updates on the WPT events: we played the day 1A 1.1k, and we managed to close the bag. We're going to play the day 2 tomorrow. It's going to be 12.5% of the field for 5 million guaranteed. Good luck us. And we're going to have the main event, the 10k, on Saturday. It's going to be the 1A. We managed to get the satellite on Club WPT Gold back in September, and let's see how it goes. Hopefully you're going to have a good week, and see you guys next week.